share it on your Facebook if you want to go. You can literally just go on my page and share it if you want. But yeah, here we go, guys. Hey guys, welcome to the community hotline, friends of the internet, by the community, for the community, presented by 88 Real Estate Media. I'm Bob Fang, your host, and today we have Mr. Oscar, the legendary filmmaker from LA. Why don't you introduce yourself, man?
What's going on, man? I was like, yo, we're gonna fight them all. Okay, you got that beat going. I was waiting for you to get into it, man.
No, that's just the teaser, man. No, right?
It's copyright. We got to get permission to use that. All right, so we got to take that part out. My name's Oscar Armando. I'm a filmmaker based in LA, and we just do things. I produce right now. I'm producing a couple projects, and most of the projects I produce are like purpose-driven projects for like causes, and also narrative pieces like feature films and things of that nature. But that's me.
Okay, nice. Let's see. How's the quarantine been treating you lately?
My goodness, sir. It's been dark times. No, I'm kidding. I've been doing a lot of like reading. There's actually a book that I've been reading. It's called The Journey Home, and I have it right here on sale. No, just kidding. It's a book that I'm reading, and it's called The Journey Home, and it's by
What's the cover? We got to
all
see
right,
the cover.
I'll show you the cover. It's called The Journey Home, and it's by Radhanath Swami. He's a mystic, if you will, or a guru from. He was actually from Chicago, and he went
mystic
on.
From Chicago. Wasn't expecting.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, he's an American Swami. He goes on this journey from basically growing up in the suburbs and understanding that he wants something else from life. And I mean, his family's pretty well off and everything, but he goes on this journey with his friends, and this is around like the 50s, 60s, when like love, peace, and rock and roll was a thing. And he goes into this really cool story. I'm almost done with it. And he basically goes overseas to Europe, lands in Europe, and decides one day, something's telling me to go to India. And so he ends up in India, and he goes through like a spiritual adventure, like life journey. And it's really cool because it's teaching me a lot about myself, but also like, other people's stories are super cool.
Hey, I like that. All right. Well, that's one hell of an intro.
I love your humor.
Let's get into it, man. All right. Today we're going to talk about 3 topics. You're going to share your thoughts about it. And then also the rules of the game are there is no cursing. And if there is cursing, you'll get a strike for your first offense. A second offense will get a second strike. And then a third offense, I think we're just going to kick you out. That's just, the consensus. Right. Talk about something that's on everybody's mind, and that is money. What is it? Where does it come from? What is your thoughts about it? How do you make money?
Most of my income, or money, if you will, comes from producing and directing. So I find it through just like being in the world of what you call filmmaking. I come across projects, just, people send me scripts, things like that. And, then the next part comes in, and we find out like if somebody has investment, like funding already, or if they're searching to find investment funding. And every project is different, but most of the time it's just like, just asking the questions and figuring out like where the project is. I think money is energy, like if you would. I think that a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on like what money is. I don't think that it'd be really cool to have like, money courses or like money educational like I like classes while you're growing up and like when you're in school, because I think we learn a lot of what money is from either our parents or from the people that were around when we're growing up. But I think that money is like it's a resource and it's energy. Like if we think of it as something that's like attainable, it doesn't have to be as complicated as like some people make it out to be. So that's what I think money is.
What was your speaking of your parents, what did they teach you about money? You know,
I grew up in a very low income like situation, poverty kind of like
where'd you
upbringing.
grow up?
Over it's a city in Costa Mesa, or a city. It's a part of Costa Mesa. It's in Orange County, California. It
What's
sounds super dope. But the situation was always like we didn't have money. There was no money. Like no, we didn't know where money was going to come from. It was like you wanted to go and like buy some stuff from the ice cream man. We don't have money for that, and that it was always like the story was always there's no money. Like money doesn't exist in this household, and so that actually became like something that I focused on. And as I got older, I was like, yo, so like where does money come from if like we never have money? Like where does it come from?
right?
Um, so that was my upbringing. It wasn't until maybe like I started to venture off in my own like after high school that I actually like started to meet people who make money like as a business owner or like their own, they have their own company and stuff like that. And then I was like, they don't look at money like my mom did. They look at money like there's there's money like in places that you didn't even know there was money. And I'm just like, so what is money? And that's I started to like venture into what money was.
What are the and you said money is energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
can you kind of describe that a little bit? Like, what do you mean by money is energy? Do you have a story to kind of of when that
Yeah.
moment?
Yeah. So recently I've been doing a lot of like reading of different types of books and things like that. And also venturing into what like my understanding of like my life is at this point in my life. And I think that I've understood that once I had a conversation with somebody earlier today. We were talking about alignment, and it's like if your energy within yourself is aligned and you know yourself, um, opportunities just like arise. And I think that a lot of the energy that we give off as people sometimes brings like this attraction to us, like if you will somebody who's closed off and is like kind of shy and like I don't know and kind of like that, like when you go into like pitch a an investor or like go into a meeting and stuff like that, if you come in like with that energy, it kind of feels like, well, I don't know if I want to work with this guy, you know what I mean? Like what's going on, is he okay? Like I'm like, is everything okay, and that's what I would be. And so I like, we talked about like our energy. It's like, yo, when you come with that, like that joy and that happiness, and you're just excited to be like a part of this project, or you're a part of to be of like whatever it is you're doing in life, totally different feeling. You're just like, oh snap, like either this person is really passionate about this or they're just super excited the fact that like, they're alive. Like something's going on with this kid, you know what I mean?
Right, right,
Um,
right.
so that's what I mean by like, and money is energy, because like the way that you naturally are, it's gonna attract the specific people or the specific opportunities that are gonna be able to present to you. If income's one thing that you're looking for, um, I think of like it all as being like energy. When I met you, I feel like the energy was there. And so it was like, dude, this guy's like, he's doing all kinds of like stuff with like Bitcoin and all that. Like he's super, like you're just like super venturous. And I was like, yo, I love this guy's energy. And I don't know if you remember Blue, but he was like, yo, I vibes. I'm like, it's something about that expanded, like super, like happy to be like there in that moment that just, and I mean, here we are.
I love it. Now I remember Blue, us, all of us at Cross Campus, right?
Yeah, across campus in downtown.
No, I remember. I love that. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, man. Like I feel like, I think it's more like the now that I'm in real estate,
Yeah.
I meet these like older like white folks, and when you start talking about energy, they kind of like clock out. And
Oh,
and like coming from like I think people younger than probably like in their 30s or younger, like
mm,
we're more about energy as well. Like you don't want to work with someone who like you mentioned has like low energy, right? They're not
yeah,
excited about their day, they're just kind of down, and you're like,
right.
yo, I'm not trying to come into work all day, or and see you every day, and you be hitting me with that negative energy, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm not about that life.
I'll be concerned. I'll be like, yo, it's like, is everything good? Like, you chilling? Like, trying to bring them up because I don't know. I find myself in those positions a lot. I'll be like, I don't know, volunteering at somewhere, and a lot of the organizations that I work with, like they have people who are either going through like a transitional phase in their life, or they're really like focusing on changing their life in one way. And I'm like, you got to come with that energy, man, because like if your energy matches their energy, then it's like it's not it just becomes kind of it's like if you were to see somebody and you're like, dude, that guy is always smiling and I don't know why, like what's his problem? And then you like talk to him and you're like, yo, he's just a happy dude. Like maybe I could be happy. Or like, I don't know, maybe like you trigger something off inside of them that makes them just wanna try to be a little bit, you know, different or bring some love into their life. And that's what I mean about energy.
So you've been working with a bunch of keep the youth, right?
Yeah, we work with like high school students, things like that, and then like homeless like outreach programs, things like that.
So tell us,
Um,
let's transition then, and let's talk about education with these high
yeah.
school students.
hmm
What are you seeing out there? Just tell
Um,
people don't know, right? What's the word on the street with the high school kids?
yeah, there's a so like a lot of times what happens is there's like a either a miscommunication or there's like something that like kids are really holding on to that was said to them or maybe was done to them. And it feels like people don't allow them to really like feel the way they feel and like try to go from that point. It's more like I grew up in a type of what you would call culture where it's like, like just brush it off, bro. Like don't be a crybaby or don't like what? Like what are you doing, man? Like you be a man, it's like all this stuff like the machismo life is like a thing where it's like, oh, I can't feel sad right now because I'm supposed to be tough and stuff. So I feel like a lot of the empathy that goes with kids growing up, they may not know that it's okay to feel the way they feel. Like it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. It's just they gotta process that, and we all process things differently. So a lot of times, what it is just literally having conversations with them and listening. And like most of the times, they're like, man, thanks for listening, because a lot of people, like my parents never listened, or like my counselors never listened. They just wanted to throw me in juvie, or they just wanted to throw me like, tell me that I wasn't good for nothing. But like, if you just kind of take that step to just be like, all right, I'm gonna get out of the stuff that I got to do with my life and see if I can like help someone. Um, so I mean, that's a lot of the times what it is with kids like in high school transitioning, and even adults, man. Like it's crazy. Um, you just the the power of love, man. That's all I gotta say.
Can you give an example of like one of these kids like recently that you've talked to that is transitioning, and what you mean
uh,
by listening to them?
yeah. It's like there's this kid. He came to LA, wanted to be an actor and things like that. I mean, I call him. He's not like just fresh out of high school, but he's in his 20s and he's like growing up. Like he's like us, and so he's like growing up, in a situation where he had expectations of where his life should be right now. Like he's just like really hard on himself, you know. And I'm like, yo, like I've totally been there, dude. Like I know exactly what that feels like. You just want to, you know, do something with your life and you want it so bad and you're like, oh, it didn't happen yet. And so that could be like a moment that just crushes you. So we had a conversation about it, and it just turns out that like a lot of the stuff that he was really resenting was about like his his upbringing. Like his parents were like really successful and stuff like that, and so like he felt like he had a a bar to like exceed or like, you know, be at. And at the same time, when he was in that place of like, you know, darkness and stuff, um, I think that he realized that a lot of the things that he was trying to really like do with his life were already happening. It's just they weren't happening as fast as he wanted them to. So
Right. Right. Right.
that
Right. Right.
that's one of the examples. It's like patience, right? We learn these lessons as we go through life. Patience is a virtue.
I like it. I like it. Okay, I like that. And then what about you, man? How was your who were you in high school? What was your education like?
Um, I went to a high school that was it was pretty diverse. It had like a mix of all kinds of like
Which
what
high
you would.
school?
It's out in Costa Mesa. It's called Estancia, and
You know
so
Michael?
Michael, which Michael?
Jordan?
What is it?
Jordan?
I mean, I think he went to a different high school over in on the east side, but we're just gonna go with that. I mean, I know of him. I know he's dope. Yo, somebody would be like, "Yo, you think Mike goes and cries about stuff like this?" Nah, Mike just gets up and dribbles that ball and dunks on everybody. It's like, no, bro, chill. Like, all right, it's not that serious.
I hear. No, no, I love.
Yeah.
I like that you didn't fall for it. I tell that to. I asked that. I just checked that, and like
I like.
I think 7 out of 10. I get somebody like seven
Oh,
out of
really?
ten. I'll get people. Yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, Michael. But I usually gotta go with oh, what year did you graduate? And they'll be like, oh, like, you know, '09. And they'll be like, oh, you know Michael? They'll be like, huh? Yeah, yeah. Like,
I was like, I know a couple Michaels, but which one? Um, yeah, I was that
but yeah,
kid who like
back to high school, man. Yeah, tell me, who were you in
I
high school?
I love theater, bro. I love theater. I'm not gonna lie. I love like the whole entertainment of like being an actor and stuff like that. But it's funny because in high school, that wasn't the cool thing. Like people who were in drama and theater, you were just like, what's wrong with this cat? Like, you know, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. You one of the weirdos. And I was like, yo, like I remember literally I was thinking about this story today, and it was like I got so excited because I got enrolled for drama class, and I had been wanting to get this class for like the last 2 years. I think it was my junior year, and it was an elective course, and I was like, dude, I'm in it. Like, yeah, I'm getting it. And then like all my friends and us, like we got to like couple days before school was like registration, so we all got our schedules and stuff. And I'm looking at everything, and my friends are looking like, oh, I got wood shop, like yo, I got metal shop. I'm like, yo, I got drama. They're like, drama, like what are you doing in drama, bro? And I was like, oh snap. And I never talked about this to anybody. I wasn't like, yo, I'm trying to get in drama, but I had actually talked to my counselor uh like the year previous, and I was like, yo, I really want to get into drama next semester or whatnot. And she was like, we'll put you in there like maybe next year or something. I'll put a note here. So I finally got in, but when we all got together and all my friends were there, they were just like, yo, like, why are you on drama? Like, why don't you just do like metal shop or wood shop? And like, literally, dude, I was so afraid that my friends would think I was weird and like not cool and whatnot.
Right.
Uh, that I immediately went to my counselor like on the first day of school, and I was like, yo, I need to help. Like, I need your help. My counselor was, what's going on? Like, are your classes okay? I'm like, yeah, just I need to get out of drama. And they were like, what? She was like, I remember my counselor looked at me and she was like, you've been trying to get into that for like the longest time ever. I was like, I know, I really wanted to be part of this thing. It's called the O Show. And, you know, they put it on every year. But like, I don't know, I changed my mind. I kind of want to do like wood shop or metal shop. And she was like, what? Oh, well, I mean, we can see if they have openings. Like, you can, you know, go and see if the professor will take you. And
Right.
I did it that day. I went to the teacher and he enrolled me for wood shop and metal shop. And I remember that But looking back, if I would have just like gone with what my ancestors were saying, I would have just stuck to drama, bro. So like I guess the message there is for everybody watching, for the kids, just be yourself always, man. And like don't worry about like what other people are saying or what your friends think. I still to this day, I got a friend who like hit me up from like way back when. He's like, yo, like you out there doing entertainment and stuff. I'm like, yeah, bro, I am. It's like, all right, that's cool. But like back then, it wasn't cool.
Right, right. Are you still friends with those people?
When I go back home, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" They'll be like, "Yo, I haven't seen you in forever," and stuff like that. But most of my time is either spent like here in Los Angeles and other parts of this wonderful world that we live in.
Okay, okay, wow. Okay, I get it. I appreciate you sharing that. That's very vulnerable, letting people know, like
That was for the kids. That was for the kids.
yeah, you gave into the peer pressure.
Totally, totally.
But you're still living in your dream now. All right, all right. Thank you for sharing that. I love it. I love it. Guys, like take him as an example for those watching. It's okay to share. Okay, like just because you did just 'cause you killed your dreams before doesn't mean it's never too late. It's never too late.
That's always been a part of me. So I was like, I gotta do it. If I don't, then I'm gonna let that kid down. That kid with dreams, I'm gonna let him down. And
I love it.
you
I
can't
love
do
it. I love
that.
it. Okay. So now that you're kind of in entertainment, right?
Okay.
So let's talk about that for a second. What
Mhm.
is it? What is it? Well, first and foremost, what are you entertaining yourself with during this time that everyone's quarantined? What are you watching?
Uh,
What's going on?
there is this show on HBO. We're in pre-production for a project, and the DP, the director of photography, was like, "Yeah, I think we should shoot it like this style of show that I saw the other day. It's called Euphoria. It's on HBO." And I was
Hmm.
like, "Well, what's Euphoria?" And he's like, "It's a high school like college teen drama, but like it's just the feel." And so I started watching that show, and I found myself. I was like, "Yo, I'm like 3, 4 episodes in. What's going on? The show's kind of good." It's really about like self discovery, and the story goes from the point of perspective of like the main character and how she affects the people around her by being addicted to like drugs and things of that nature. And so it's a very very compelling and like dramatic themed project. I've been watching that. I watched Netflix. I rewatched what is it, Jojo Rabbit. If you guys haven't seen that, Taika Waititi. It's pretty funny film. Um, let's see what else. Uh, yeah, and then other than that, I'll just read. I'll read books. I'll read scripts. I'll read whatever's in front of me basically most of the time. This book, I literally picked it up like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't been able to put it down, dude. The Journey Home is crazy.
With the Chicago Guru?
Yeah, the Chicago Swami. Yo, I'm telling you, bro, his story is wild. It's wild. You're like,
Oh, yeah. You
not.
be like, if he sells a book, you gotta get a promo code. If he sells a book, you better
I
get.
was
You better.
I was promoting your book on the show.
Oh, community hot. All right. So
I'll-
let's just kind of wrap it up now. What are two pieces of life advice you have for the youth, man?
um, two pieces of advice, if we could. One, I think it goes like be yourself. That story about like you know and know yourself. That story about me, like being in high school and like kind of just going with the whole what everybody else was doing instead of what I wanted to do with life. Um, I feel like a lot of times we hold ourselves from doing things that we know that we want to do or that we might be interested in doing, and then we just don't go for it. So uh, one is know yourself, be yourself, and then the second one is like whatever you do, I think that you should know that the universe has got your back. For whatever reason, I believe that the universe really puts that. Like if you put energy towards something, like the universe just knows. It's like, man, you know, Mr. Fang over here, he's doing real estate. We just gotta give him this show. We're gonna give him this community hotline show because he's got to be on the air. And that's just like simple, like one example. But like for me, I come across like really cool storytellers, and I love it. And I think that that's like a way of the universe just showing people love. So like whatever it is you like to do, it's gonna show you love in one way or another. So don't be afraid to try new things, and the universe has always got your back. And then be yourself, know yourself.
Can you tell us? Can you just tell us before we wrap up? Give me one example of when the universe did you right.
The universe always does right, okay? And I had to learn this. I had to learn this as a lesson, because sometimes we want things truly, like so badly. And you're just like, man, I've done this, I've done that, and like I'm on it, and I don't sleep, and this is all I do. So a personal example is sometimes, we think like I had a project that I was like so hyped about, and the project itself actually ended up not like falling through. And I was like, dang, man, like I was so excited. The story's dope. Like people gonna love this. They're gonna watch this. This is like Stranger Things. Like it's gonna be lit, And I was like, okay, it didn't happen. And then like maybe like a week and a half later, I got a director who she like reached out to me, and she was like, this investor, and I was wondering, like, I'm looking for producers and stuff. And I reached out to her, and it turns out that like this project is something that like is legitimately like packaged, and like they're ready to like just go. They're just looking for like basically people who are like willing to do it, like do the work. And I was like, yo, like I'm right here, like, tell me more. And we started to get to know each other, and it turns out that I'm on this project now. And I feel like had I taken that, had that other project lifted off and whatnot, I wouldn't have been able to get on this project. And I think that that's like definitely the universe just showing love and being like, you know what, my dude, I had this, but at the same time, there's also this, right?
Feel it. Universe got your back. I love it. All right. Thank you for sharing, man. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching the Community Hotline. Before I forget, 88 Real Estate Media is looking for members to join the Oversight Committee to build the best mindfulness school in SoCal. Shoot us a message if you want to learn more. And also, if you do business in the real estate industry, please do consider hiring us next time. That's it, folks. Oscar, give him a follow. The Oscar Armando. Thank you very much, man. We'll catch you next time, bro.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Peace. Blessings.